picture that number in your head. According to greendoors.org, there are 76,000 homeless veterans sleeping on the street every night. This makes up 17% of the homeless population. Now, you might be asking yourself, how is this possible? How do the people that deserve our protection, because they do so much for us, are they living on the street? According to the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans, when veterans return from war, they suffer from substance abuse or PTSD. Well, the ones that don't have the proper support at home, they don't function properly anyway, so they don't have support, so they end up on the street. Today we're going to talk about the resources how they are available for veterans and what we can do to make them have more knowledge and access to these resources. While there are multiple resources available for homeless veterans, most of them are available online. If you don't have a computer, if you don't have a house, you probably don't have a computer or access to the internet. So also, if you're one of the ones that have mental illness, substance abuse, or you're suffering from PTSD, you're not thinking properly. So the last thing you're thinking about is, how can I get off the street? According to Lelon Whitaker, in Texas here alone, we have 2,200 homeless veterans. That's one of the highest numbers of all the states. The VA has resources, but they're limited, so most of this comes from nonprofit organizations. Now that we've looked at that there is a need to help these veterans, how can we help? We need to get these resources more accessible to them. Well, how do you do that? We can go to homeless shelters, notify those homeless shelters that there's multiple resources out there for these people, and get it out there for them so they can educate and look for veterans. We ourselves can be more mindful. We can look into, when you see a homeless person, look for signs they're a veteran. Maybe if you can figure out that they're a veteran, we can let them know. Also, maybe we can get some educational programs together that hand out flyers in heavy homeless areas, so that way they know, hey, that there's resources out there. The VA, we could give them pamphlets and stuff, and they could send this out to, when people come in for their well checks or something, hopefully they're at least doing that, they can give them educational resources. Well, these people deserve to be off the street, so we should be willing to do whatever we can to help them. You're probably thinking, well, how do you pay for it? We can donate to these nonprofit organizations, get the word out about these nonprofit organizations to help with donations. Also, if we're willing to donate some of our time and volunteer, that will help with the homeless shelters, maybe volunteer some of our time. Now that we've looked at the need and how to do it, let's picture what it's like for these veterans. They're living on the street. Can you imagine how excited they would be to be able to go home after they've sacrificed so much? They sacrifice everything for us. We should be willing to fight for them, do what we can to help them. It would be a life-changing experience for them to be able to go home to a house at night. Knowing that we helped somewhat in that would be not only life-changing for them, it would be changing for us because we know that we had a big part of that. Today we've looked at the different resources available, or how the resources are available for veterans, and what we can do to get them knowledge and access to these resources. The main thing is we need to start this fight now. We need to get these veterans off the streets. Do what we can. Like I've said before, they've sacrificed so much for us. We need to be willing to help. You can go to your local homeless shelters and donate your time. They're here locally in Beaumont off I-10. There is the Salvation Army. Also, you can ask around about Tent City. Those are two heavily homeless populations. Maybe you can donate your time there. If you don't have time and you just want to donate money, you can go to any search engine and Google nonprofit organizations that help veterans. A really good one is Wounded Warrior Project. It's woundedwarriorproject.org. You can go on there and look at the different stuff and donate money through that. Let's fight to help these people. They've sacrificed so much for us. It's time that they start living their lives right.